Hello everyone, I am Tacit and welcome to the Gems of War. What are we at now? Campaign, actually I forgot the numbers, I don't have it up right now, but I have the VOA, it says it right here. Campaign 22, week 8. So today, game plan, of course, I'll be doing all the standard stuff we normally do every single Monday, going and messing with the current water event that we have going on, all the standard stuff, dailies. Probably throw some Volkies in there, start getting those rolling. Beyond that, course update should be tomorrow, fingers crossed. The 8.4 update that will be bringing in the Guild War changes, or, adding Guild War, as well as what should be bringing in the third set of dragons. These were in the files since, like, last summer, and it seemed like they were going to come in, like, in, like, the December patch, or maybe, like, the November patch, but they never did, so they're instead making it into the first major patch of this year, which, of course, should be tomorrow. And then someone mentioned in chat, yeah, we might get the patch notes tonight. If they do post it, do let me know. We'll go over them. But the update itself shouldn't be till tomorrow, but sometimes they do the patch notes a day early. So if they do, we'll go over it now, or otherwise we'll wait till tomorrow and, go over it with the patch and everything. And then go for the next set of dragons. As, yeah, we'll have a third set to go for, the flower ones. They should be the same price as the cheaper ones, so 500 each. And, yeah, hopefully we'll get a good drop rate. We have like 28 of them, so we should be able to get them all. Unless we get really, really, really unlucky. But that'll be the game plan for tomorrow. But for today, we're just going to kind of go through all the normal standard stuff, some of which I already did. Just because I didn't want to make sure I didn't forget that. Oh yeah, isn't this to go do all 3 battles on daily? Let me go do that. This one's pretty easy. I already did 2 of them. Might as well go do the other one. But anyways, hello everyone. Let me start all the way from the top. Hope you guys have been having a wonderful start of your week. Hello Tyrion. Hello Mark. Hello MKJets. Hello Crisp. Hello Bill Warhammer. Hello everyone else. Welcome, 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 welcome. Alright. Let's go get things done. But yeah, if you guys have any questions about the thing too, we did go over it a little bit last stream on Friday. However, yeah, we also went over it in the weekly video. But of course, yeah, we had the whole write-up on what they're doing. Just like the 3rd time now. And they said they were going to post this right before the patch. So yeah, patch very likely tomorrow. This was actually posted last week, oddly enough. They did it like right after the stream. Like 3 hours after the stream, this was posted last week. Like you can tell based on the date because this is actually like the following day. But basically, like, right after midnight on last week's stream, like, last week's Monday stream is when they posted this. Like, about 4 or 5 hours after we clicked, like, the end stream button. It's like, oh, there it is. Which is why we didn't go over it until Friday, as well as a little bit during the video today. But, yeah, it just says the whole thing on the Guild War. But overall, looking forward to it. A lot of things are pretty same that you have, like, the 5 battles. I like the keep system, so you have a little bit more diversity with how you get to defend. The only thing I can see getting a little bit steel is you have to use the same offensive team every single day. So for example, the first Guild War, you're going to have to use a Broken Spire team 4 days in a row. So the first day you'll use Broken Spire, the second day you'll use Broken Spire, the third day you'll use Broken Spire, and the 4th day, you guessed it, you'll use Broken Spire. But the teams that you're going to be up against should be drastically different. Like if someone picks blue keep compared to yellow keep compared to green keep. The battles that you'll be fighting every single day should be drastically different. But the team you actually utilize, aside from switching it up a little bit to counter whatever you're up against, you're not really going to be changing it much. Like obviously if you need to like go away from a hard counter or something, like it's a skull spam team and they have Entangle or something, obviously you'd want to switch to a different team. But aside from situations like that, you're pretty much running the same team all the time. Unless they have a hard counter to whatever the build is. As of course they will try to hard counter, since every single team that they're setting up, they know they have to counter Broken Spire. So they're going to be setting things that counter Broken Spire. Like for War Gear, you're going to set things that do extra damage to brown and red and stuff like that. Because it has access to it, and that's what's really common in the kingdom, even blue. So things that can kind of counter that out. Infinite loops, anything under those categories. Under Naga, you can end up going like double Takshaka team, stuff like that. Under green palettes, obviously you could do like Leprechaun into Beatrix kind of things. Things just to counter out whatever the current restriction is that you have to use offensively. But I'm curious to see how it works. We will be doing a stream every single day for Guild Wars like we have in the past always. So yeah, we will be back to daily streams for at least Guild Wars if nothing else. Next Guild Wars should be starting I believe next Friday and goes all the way to the following Monday. So it actually, I'm not sure if it starts that Thursday or that Friday, but whatever it is, yeah, it goes from about that time. Also, we'll be covering another new game soon here too on Thursday. I want to try to finish it within a week before Guild Wars starts. We're going to be starting it this Thursday and hopefully finish it by next Thursday. Xenoblade Chronicles X. We ended up doing Xenoblade Chronicles 3 a couple years ago, but yeah, I want to go finish out that game before Guild Wars ideally. Because even though we're probably getting the patch tomorrow, we don't actually get, the Guild War itself until next weekend's weekend. Not this weekend because that's Bounty Hunter, but the weekend after this weekend should be the Guild Wars event, assuming it doesn't get delayed, which it shouldn't. Alright, anything else we have to do here? No, with the pet. Oh, hello, Miss Insanewitch. Hello, Chad. Hello, Clip Bomb. Hello, Chris. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, the Guild War rewards are really good. And the $5 offer looks really broken. You basically get a max shiny legendary which that alone, not counting any of the reward for it, is already insanely high. All right, let's go to the reward event. So there's two different ways to go about the reward event. One is to just do a true damage spam team with all the high rarity stuff. The other angle is, oddly enough, Degraki. Even at the higher range, you might still do this because he will basically just one-shot everything. For the lower level range, we will want to not use Degraki. But once our stuff stops one-shotting, two-shotting, we might actually want to go back to Degraki because he'll one-shot every single time pretty much once you have enough medals. Like if you have 3 medal set, he will guarantee basically one-shot everything due to how his boost ratio works of 3 to 1. So you would have enough damage that you'd be doing enough true damage to just one-shot them then. So that applies to early game too, so... very, very strong this current campaign if you need like a really low rarity thing. He's only a rare, and he's in event queue drop tables as well, pretty commonly. But for the earlier fights, I will be not using him just because it is quicker if you have the mythics, at least for the early on, like into the early to mid range to use a like the legends and mythics available. But worst comes to worst, you can just run Tagraki the whole time. It's just a little bit slower at the earlier end. So we will be running a 4 times War Priest team instead, or, you know, 4 times Human, 4 times Leonis Empire. I don't think I mentioned it during the video, but the main reason we did this is for the extra stats. We can opt to go for Mechanist Clash just to get things going a little bit quicker or something similar. I think I might actually do that here. Let me go like Titan or something. Main reason I did this was for all the bonuses, but we don't actually gain any offensive bonus. It's mostly just to make sure you don't die, but in these earlier fights, we're obviously not dying. Like, there's like 0% chance it's gonna happen, so... Let's go with this. Don't think I'm gonna change anything else. Corvash, that, Bandicores. All true damage, by the way. Corvash, of course, double true damage. The Manticores, which is relatively new. Didn't this come out like a few months ago? Has triple true damage. And, of course, the Immortal Requia also has 3. With splash damage as well, 50% to Jason's. And splash damage, when it does like this, does do true damage as well. It's not like it's physical splash. It's actually true damage splash with each one. So it'll be a nice cleanup troop whenever needed. Of course, it doesn't get its double damage, though. But base damage, honestly, not that bad. Hello, Alcoholic for Life. Welcome, welcome. Hello, Cookie. Hello, yeah. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope you guys have been having a wonderful start of your week. Oh, yeah, let me go set the medals. That would help. This is the event we'd want to go set that to. Oh, I haven't upgraded it yet. Let me go do that from the guild. Wait. I think we can get a medal upgrade here if we go claim rewards. That should be an upgrade. Yeah, there we go. All right, should be good to go now. Let me just double check that we have the correct ones. Oh, no, it unequipped my other one when it got merged. That's weird, even though I had it equipped there. Okay, because the other ones got merged. Technically, the one that was there, I guess, got merged then. All right, there we go. So now we have 400%, I believe, right? What is that total? That's 160 plus 40. Yeah, it's exactly 200% extra damage. So we're basically hitting 3 times damage for all of our things. The base value and 2 times extra. Not too bad. All right, let's go do it. Word event, crown, fight. Oh, yeah, also just take every battle except for Servant of Deo. The full scoring is the following right here. The only thing you need to know is Servant of Deo is the worst one to take, which is the blue one. You know, not the light blue one, but the, you know, like the darker blue, you know, the ultra rare color one. Just don't take the Servant of Deo and you'll be good, which is this one right here. Don't take that one. You'll eventually have to just take that one, but take everything that isn't that one until you're forced to have to take it. But that's the game plan. Pretty straightforward reward event. And best part is, whatever you're using for reward event, you just copy-paste it, and boom, that's your Underspire team. There isn't a single change you really need to make with them. They do work a little bit better in the reward event, just because, well, for one, they have spell damage, and also because of the enchant and everything. Because you get enchant, you get explode, you know, all the standard potion effects that you normally get. But beyond that, yeah, you can just copy 1-to-1 your team that you're using for reward event this week, and it'll be perfectly fine in Underspire. It'll just be a little bit slower in Underspire, as things tend to be, since you don't have all that good mana start potions and everything. There's one thing that still feels really slow with Underspire these days. It still kind of drives me crazy sometimes. Just how much slower Underspire is compared to most other points in the game. Especially those later fights if you end up going for them. It just feels so weird not having potion effects or anything else that really speeds things up. I wonder if they'll ever consider adding them there. Obviously you have those like little token things, but they don't give you nearly enough to be able to use them properly. When is the 8-point patch going to be released? Pretty much this exact time right now, tomorrow. So around 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow or so, should be the patch time. It could vary sometimes it's slightly earlier, sometimes it's slightly later. But around this time tomorrow, we should be in version 8.4. Subject to change, but very, very, very likely to be around exactly that time. And of course, we'll be around streaming as well. And the main goal for tomorrow, assuming the patch is here, is to go get all the flower dragons and mess around with them. We'll probably also go over the patch notes officially. I'll try not to spend too much on time on Guild War though, because Guild War is not really applicable until like a week and a half from tomorrow. Because it doesn't apply until 2 weekends from now. We'll still go over it briefly though. Or, you know, what's ever relevant in the patch notes there. I assume most of it's going to be pretty much a 1-to-1 of what they already kind of posted though. But we might get some new info that we don't already have. But I don't really think so, because they kind of already posted everything. But the big things is like the flower dragons, whatever other small things they do. Because we know that the biggest feature obviously is Guild War, but we also know that they're likely doing the Flower Dragons, and they might also be doing some other small thing. And we'll find out in soon. But yeah, this is the first patch of the year. As well as the last first major patch in a while. Because the last major patch was something related to, what, PvP? Like, pretty much every patch last year was PvP, so they didn't really feel that unique compared to each other. There's one weird thing with last year's patches. Is, like, every single update was, like, PvP update, PvP update, PvP update. It just felt like one really long PvP update. Honestly, even this is technically still PvP update. Guild Wars is very heavily attached to PvP. It's the whole reason why they had to overhaul the whole system. And you actually do earn VP for the new system as well. Which is nice, because that means getting your weekly done on whatever day, whatever time there's a Guild War will actually be easier. As it counts towards the 5,700 that you need for your weekly rewards. Oh yeah, that reminds me. I actually got first place last week, by the way. I'm sure if I made that mention last Friday, or in the bit of grinding that I was doing throughout the weekend, because we never did like a Sunday stream. We only did the one on Friday, but we did eventually end up taking first place for PvP. It wasn't Ruby rank though, not technically in Diamond, but it moved us up to Diamond. But yeah, we got first place. Not sure if I can still see the mail for it. Let me go double check. But we did indeed get first place for once. I figured I'd grind it out for once. Yeah, we can see it right there, PvP results. Congratulations on completing in the Ruby League. Here is your reward for finishing in first place. They had 90 gold marks. Not too bad. But we ended up getting that. I figured I'd grind for it for once. Because I feel like I could have gotten it like so many weeks. Because it was always so close, I just never bothered. So I figured since it was Vault Week, I'd say, I might as well get more value from it. But yeah, we finally went for it. Honestly, should be going for it a lot more than I do, but we were so close to it. I was like, yeah, might as well. And yeah, we did end up getting it by the end. Definitely worth doing it. 90 is a lot. Like, that's basically a deed book. That's 10 short of a deed book. Speaking of which, let's go open the deed books. We haven't handed out any codes yet. Oh yeah, I don't have my code section open either. Maybe that's why. Also, I had the weirdest glitch ever with Windows 11. I'm not sure if any of you guys had this before, but my, you know the bar at the bottom, like on Windows, where it just has like all of your tabs and it shows you the time and everything else like that? It somehow got frozen earlier today. How? I don't know. Like, it got stuck at like 7:23 a.m. Like it was like 11 o'clock or something. And it was stuck at 7:23 a.m. All my tabs down there were stuck. Everything was frozen. Like, everything on the computer was working fine. But the whole bottom tab was like frozen in time from like 4 hours ago. It was so weird. I've never seen it before. Obviously, just restarting the computer fixed it. But it was the weirdest glitch I've ever seen with it. Alright, what do we need here? What do we need? I'll just take that for now. Get a little bit of mana. He can take whatever. Should be operational in a turn here. Just get our last little bit. Doesn't really matter what we do here, as we'll have everything operational by then. Any preparation tactics for the upcoming new Guild War? Not really, other than just trying to get stuff. But there's not really too much you can try getting. I would say if you have the 4,000 diamonds to get Great King, if you don't already have it, Great King should be pretty good from a lot of Guild War restriction. You won't need it offensively, but you can definitely throw it into one of your defensive teams most likely. But yeah, there really isn't as much of a need. Also, I believe you only have to defend one location, so it's not like before where you need like 6 defend teams. If I understand the new Guild War system correctly, you only need one single defend team. You only need one offensive team, though you might want to tweak it a little bit depending on what you're up against. And you only need one defensive team, I'm pretty sure. So you don't have to worry about setting like 6 different ones, so it should be a lot easier to set a defend team. Especially if a lot of your guild hasn't set defend teams, because you do have to disperse them across all the areas. However, if you get in early on the day where you can start setting defense and set yours first, you can just set it to whatever is the easiest for you to build, like that you have a good team for. I'm not sure if we're going to do a comprehensive video on every defend, though, because we'd have to cover about 50 different teams, and that would be a very long video. So we might. That's a lot of teams to cover. Basically, if you were to cover a video on that, you would have to cover a team for every unique thing here. So aside from a pure color team for everything, you would also have to cover one for every troop type in the game. Because I'm pretty sure every single one is represented at least once. It doesn't look like there's any kingdom restrictions, but there's a troop type restriction for, I'm pretty sure, every single one. Which I think in total that's like 30-something teams. I don't know, maybe we do that. The only problem with that is I would kind of have to cover 2, because what if someone's missing an option? Because I could show like the strongest option for each, but then someone will say they don't have that mythic. And it's like, oh no. Honestly, even if we show 2 teams, that could still end up happening. I don't know, how many teams would that be? Let me go double check. Is Guild War now? No, it doesn't happen until 2 weeks from now. The update should be tomorrow though. But the actual effect of the update doesn't take effect till next week's weekend for Guild War. How many teams is that? Let me go double check. It's 1 per color plus every single type in the game. which means how many teams is that? So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh yeah, Doom isn't one. Wait. I'm counting ones that wouldn't be it. And let me start from the top. 6, 7, boss won't be one. 8, 9, 10, 11, that won't be one. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, gnome won't be one. 18, 19, that won't be one. 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, that won't be one. 31, 32, 33, 34. Assuming every single type is there, other than the ones that obviously won't be there, that should be 34 teams. Counting the 6 color teams and one for every type. I'm not sure if we'll cover a video on that, but the gosh, there's so many teams. There are some things we will cover, like obviously the Broken Spire teams. You need a couple different variants of that, like the one you'll actually be using. I'm not sure if we'll do a comprehensive defend team video. If we do, it'll probably be after the first Guild War rather than before, just so we can kind of gauge how it works and everything. Because if you only have to set one defend team, it doesn't really matter too much in that regard. Because when it comes to every single category, you should have something to set at least one of them. It's not like you have to set 34 defend teams. Like, our guild as a total will be setting, like, what, 8, 9 different ones? But I believe each individual person only has to set up one singular defend team. So it should be pretty easy to have at least one category where you have a proper team out of the, like, the 9, 10-ish options you have. Because how many options are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. You have 9 different options to choose from. So generally speaking, everyone should have at least one team that could fit one of those 9. Even if you're missing a lot of stuff, you likely have at least one defend team that could fit somewheres there. And the reason I didn't count the bottom one is it's already pre-selected every time. You don't get to actually set it as a guild. Which color region would you recommend? We're probably going green. Green and blue are probably the best. Blue because it has the best effect. Green because it has the hardest battles that you have to do. Or, you know, that the enemies will have to do. Because you have to go through all of them in order to maximize your score. So every single battle and every single path will eventually have to be gone down. And green just seems to have the best composition. It has Divine, it has Naga, it has Goblin, which is really nice. It has War Gear, which can counter like every color if it needs to, and a lot of restrictions will be pretty color heavy. It has Green, which can end up running Leprechaun Beatrix near the end, as well as many other teams. Do keep in mind for Guild War, though, you are not allowed to use Stellaryx or Wand. You can offensively, though you won't be able to for the first one, but defensively, do not set Stellaryx or Wand. They will get replaced in the Prismatic Orb in Diamantina, similar to how they do for normal PvP. So whatever you do, do not set Stellaryx or Wand of Stars on any team, as they will be replaced like they are in current PvP. One water down. On to the next one. This is why I brought 2. Though one of them was my dinner water. The other one was the computer water. Because I just had dinner. Actually, that's one of the reasons we were like a few minutes late. I was like chowing down dinner to make sure it was done in time. Because I did it between the 2 streams. But there's a lot we're going to need to mess with New Guild War. Because I'm not sure which one will be the overall best defend. It looks like green kind of has the best. And blue has the best effect. But we'll have to see exactly how things interact, how people end up engaging with it and everything. Also, it depends what the restriction is on a given week. Like, there might be a given week where a given defense is better. Like, the biggest weakness with Broken Spire is it's either going to be skull heavy or really color specific heavy. So any kind of counters that can kind of do that, like teams that can counter something that uses a lot of the same color, or teams that can end up countering skulls, which, you know, you get that entangle effect after 15 turns, so that can be pretty helpful. Because those are going to be the main 2 type of builds that are going to be used. Hello, Dork Sagan! Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, Mini, if I didn't already say hello earlier. And hello, Defiant. Welcome, welcome, welcome. As well as everyone lurking in the background. Hello, Sonny again. Welcome, welcome. Hope all has been well. But yeah, we can kind of go over that really briefly, too. Like, the teams that we'll have access to. Because when you build defense teams, you basically have to consider what do you need to do to counter these teams, basically. Because there's a few main core teams that you would end up needing. Which I can even start setting some of them right now because we won't need the teams again until next week. So I can start replacing some of these. But for example, let's make our like first Broken Spire team. So let's go over to the Kingdom of Broken Spire. So I'll make one of them right now. I'm not gonna make all of them right now, but we'll make one. So one really common route will end up being going down an Furnace Meteoridian route. This is going to be really common for anyone who has absolutely everything. There's going to be two really common ways to go about it. Infernus into Meteoridian, because they're the highest amount of cast damage you could do. And the other route is the budget route of that, which is like double Magma Dragon. As you can get this troop basically for free at any point. So even if you were like a new player and had absolutely nothing, you can get double Magma Dragon by next Guild War. It is so free to go get. So the two main core builds are going to be Meteoridian into Infernus if you have everything, or double Magma Dragon if you don't. Other off routes are Dragon Lord Luther from the 10-year anniversary event last November. Not only is this in Vault Key drop table now, so new players can also get it if you didn't get it last November. And it's pretty much free once you get the 4 cards for it. But you can try open that in Vault Keys now, and they're all in drop table now. Like from last Vault event. Also, thank you, Roman, for the continued support. Greatly appreciated. Hello, Jamie. Welcome, welcome. But yeah, you have this route as well, where you can end up using him to offset your damage even more, as well as covering colors that normally aren't covered here. But you also have things like Shugger Skull Spam route. So this is what I was talking about with Skulls earlier. Obviously not with Meteoridian, but in other similar situations. Particularly like Shugger plus Infernus ends up working pretty good with that. Because I believe Shugger has extra damage against burning. Yeah, double damage against burning, so you can kind of go down that route. Aside from that, not too much good in the lower rarity range, though, I do have to say. Like, every single thing that's good here is pretty much Legend or above. As most of the things you're building around are either Infernus, Meteoridian, Dragon Lord Luther, all of which are mythics, or Magma Dragon, which is like the freeze one out of all of them to get. This is super easy to get 2 or 3 of. And then your main support options are Lava Troll for doubling red. So countering red is really good for this event. A lot of teams are going to be really red heavy. Because not only is Lava Troll really double all red, Shagra denies all red, but uses it for value. So that's 2 things that uses red. Taraxis converts all... Oh no, he actually converts into brown. But he is something that uses red. So yeah, countering red seems to be like the best angle then. Either red troops or red color. Red and brown are the 2 biggest ones to counter. By far. Because almost every single build route that you're doing is going to be red or brown base. Oh yeah, we even have Ogres for early game. Honestly, you could probably even do this for a thing. Honestly, this might be the route. Ogres is Mana Accumulator and this is offsetting with Weapon. Because I believe you have to use Broken Spire Weapon as well. So what would our Broken Spire Weapon be? Let me go double check. Broken Spire, Explode. Keep in mind, you do get your score back if something dies and you resummon it. It's very similar to original OG Guild War in that regard. I guess this covers every color but blue then. So yeah, this would basically be the core main team then. And the budget version of this is just replacing out Meteoridian and Infernus with double Lava Dragon. So this will probably be the most common build that people will run for the first Guild War. So this is basically what you have to counter when you build for every defend team you do. Your team needs to counter this build basically with either this or double Magma Dragon there, or 1 Magma Dragon for whatever the person doesn't have. Where it's either this at its strongest or double Magma Dragon there at its weakest. Obviously there are other routes, but this is probably going to be one of the more popular ones. Other routes include using Dragon Lord Luther, but he still does a similar premise where he's hitting all enemies. Having counter all enemies doesn't work as well though, because Infernus bypasses it. So if someone needs to counter that, they can just go Infernus with Amarak or something, or Infernus plus whatever. So don't try going like Submerge route. Even though a lot of them are going to be weak to Submerge, like double Lava Dragon or Meteoridian in general. Submerge, as well as counter Dragon Lord Luther. The biggest issue with trying to go anti-Submerge is Infernus just ignore Submerge. Skull Spam ignore Submerge. So Submerge will... because you have to keep in mind, the enemy will know what your team is beforehand. It's not like your team's going to be hidden. You should still be able to know what your enemy team is. So if they see that you're running like a Submerge build to try to counter Meteoridian and Magma Dragon and stuff, and Dragon Lord Luther, all they're going to do is just use Infernus, Amarak, Shagra, stuff like that. So going down Submerge route, probably not needed. If you could fit it on free for your team off a hero class, it's probably fine. But you shouldn't go like all in Submerge build for, even though it does counter some of the bigger ones. Yeah, it seems like it's going to be the biggest team. Is there anything we got to do with this? I guess we can go Titan for the 50% mana start. We do lose a little bit of things, but I'm pretty sure you're allowed to not use the class. Otherwise, we'd have to use Warlock. We do get a little bit less Broken Spire bonus. Let me go double check. If we were to use it, what do we get? Warlord would be the correct one. Alright, so it's just a bunch of extra stats. Yeah, you definitely don't need it. Just go Titan. Titan would work out a lot better here. But yeah, Ogress, Hero as Titan, Meteoridian, and Infernus. You still get a lot of stats from it. But yeah, this would be the core offensive team. Oh yeah, you would change your banner though. Banner would be the following. And then like brown, red, heavy or something. Like +2 brown, +1 red, -1 blue. Perfect, exactly that. But yeah, this is likely to be the main core team for next Guild War. Let's go try it real quick. Let's go try it in an actual PvP fight. That's not PvP. Oh yeah, I forgot. I gotta go cut paste the team if I do that. Okay, I'll just try it in Sword's Edge, I guess. Don't want to overwrite the other team. Alright, let's go. Let's see. This is gonna be like one of the main core teams. There's a couple different ways to build this, but this premise of team, as it has a really good tanky mana accumulator that can keep repositioning into first if you somehow reposition her on the enemy team. It has a bunch of mana accumulation and support to your entire team other than hero, unless you end up setting your hero class, but generally Titan's going to be better for a quicker start. Then you have your main damage source with the Meteoridian. And if you don't have that, you can just run Lava Dragon, which will also give you Brown Red Storm. And though Titan does give you Brown Storm at the start, so even if you don't have it. But setting a counter storm doesn't really help that much, because if they have Lava Dragon, they just keep setting Brown Red Storm. While it would counter out Titan hero class, it wouldn't counter out Lava Dragon. In that case, they could just set Lava Dragon instead. Even replace out Infernus for it might even be better. Like running Meteoridian into Lava Dragon instead of Infernus. Infernus is mostly to help counter Submerge. That's like the main reason for it, because a lot of hero classes might end up running Submerge on it, where you can run it basically for free. Like, you know, the extra turn Submerge. And if people are doing that, you're going to need an Infernus or something to break through. Otherwise, your Meteoridian can't do anything, because you don't have Curse. You can't run Wand of Stars. Well, for one, it doesn't exist here, but also, even if you did... no, actually, offensively, it wouldn't get replaced, but... yeah, but this is basically the main premise. Just keep mana accumulating. And just kind of counter out the enemy team based on what they have. And if you're building defensive teams, this is basically the team you have to counter for, which... it's going to be a little bit hard to. There's a build route for pretty much everything for it to be able to counter back. Because you do get to see where you're up against, so you could just adjust to whatever they're countering. But yeah, this is going to be the main core team for first Guild War. I'll probably show like 3 to 4 of them for the video. Covering like every range. But that team and that team with like double Lava Dragon are the main two. Also, I wasn't even using correct metals either. Not like it would matter much for that battle. Anyways, back to doing the thing. That's likely the team we'll be using for most of our fights for Guild War next week. Obviously adjusting it accordingly depending on what we need for a battle. But that's likely to be one of the main core ones to use. Alright, what do we need here? Oh, don't need to drop anything there. Everything else like there could stay, that's fine. He almost just died off a reflect, that's funny. Do you think attack team also works as defense team? You're not allowed to set any defend teams with it. All defend teams are based on troop type, not on kingdom type. Aside from the pure color one. Like, you'll be restricted to a Broken Spire team, but at no point will your Broken Spire team be fighting a Broken Spire team. Because the teams that you have to fight are based on these. Like, let's say you're up against a Green Kingdom. You'll be fighting against Beasts, then either Wargear and Wildfolk. Then let's say you go Wargear, then either Elemental and Elves. Let's say you go Elemental, then Divine, then Green. But at no point would you be up against a Broken Spire team. You'll be forced to use a pure Broken Spire team, but at no point would you face another Broken Spire team. Like, it's going to be a lot less mirror matchy compared to normal Guild War. Or on something like Yellow Day, you might have like a yellow battle versus a yellow battle. Like, that won't happen in New Guild War. There's one nice thing that New Guild War does pretty well. It's pretty much impossible to have a mirror match. Or even something close to a mirror match. It's always going to be two drastically different teams normally. And while the team you have to use will be very similar day to day, the teams that you'll be facing will be drastically different day to day. Unless it becomes a really defined meta. Like everyone just running Green Kingdom or Blue Kingdom or something, or, you know, Blue Location Defend. But otherwise, you should see a lot more diversity compared to previous Guild War, at least initially anyways. That could change once a meta really starts getting formed for it. But the nice thing about it is, based on the restriction, the meta could shift. as there might be a different defend category that ends up becoming better at a given time compared to another. How was my Vault event weekend? I have no clue. I have no clue what the final tally is. I know we did really good on Epic Volky, though. We also did enough of it to get rank 1 PvP for our bracket. As hello, now to Store Games. Welcome, welcome. Hope all's been well. Oh, you know what? I should have left that there so I could have exploded for auto extra turn. That was a mistake. Could have gotten a free turn there. Now we gotta waste it to go hit him. Also, it feels weird doing an event like this because I'm so used to events where we have to use something on our team in order to get like double score or something. And then there's ward events where it's like, oh yeah, you can just run whatever. It feels so weird compared to a lot of events these days. Because all the weekly events these days is like, oh, you got to use this thing on your team, otherwise you get penalized on score. And then there's ward event where it's like, oh yeah, you can just run whatever. Or, you know, whatever within the restriction. Defend categories will change each year based on if good troops are added to each kingdom. Oh, did they end up mentioning that? Okay, so they will switch a little bit over time. That's still a while, though, having to deal with the same defend teams for a year. Like, there will still be more diversity compared to before. That's good to know that they will change it. I was kind of thinking that, too, that they might end up changing it over time. But I didn't realize they actually mentioned that. That's good, then. The only problem with that is if a meta forms within a month, that means we're going to have to deal with that for, like, 11 months straight. If after, like, 2 Guild Wars, we have, like, a defined meta. And then for 10 more Guild Wars plus, we'll have to deal with that meta every single time. I feel like the meta is going to be run green. It's either green or blue. They seem like the best two. Blue has the best effect. Green has the best layout. As far as, like, the teams available. But blue, honestly, isn't that bad either. I do feel like green's a bit stronger, though. But they're both pretty high contenders. Both for their effect as well as for their team comps that they have across the entire thing. I just prefer green a little bit more because you get to do a Leprechaun Beatrix kind of stuff at the end. Which is really RNG heavy towards the AI. Like the kind of teams that you could use here are way swingier than these kind of teams. I guess this does have the benefit of running Tuck Shaka at the end though. Like people running double Tuck Shaka teams all the way at the Palace. But you have to keep in mind you can't use Wand of Stars for that team or Stellarix for that team. So even though you're allowed to use a Tuck Shaka build, you're not allowed to use it with Wand of Stars nor Stellarix, which nerfs it quite a bit compared to what you would normally have access to. The other thing to keep in mind is that also applies to Dragon. You cannot run Stellarix or Wand of Stars for Dragon. So even though it has 2 categories that otherwise would be really good, the best team that you have for both of them is not available. Yeah, offensive teams. Yeah, we're just going over the offensive build earlier. Like the one we'll likely be using. I'll be showing more teams for it when we go to the video, though. But, yeah, we just showed a team a little bit earlier. Go show it again, too. I wish I was already here so we could mess around with it on actual builds. Because it's actually a pretty fun build. It reminds me a lot of back during Infernus meta. Actually, if any of you ever seen this, I'm pretty sure it's still there. You know, Infernus back in the day used to be meta for a while. It has been meta for so long that I believe my middle PvP still shows Infernus as my most used troop. Isn't there a thing right here where I can go see what my most used troop is? How do you check that? Info. Oh no! It's Tuck Shaka now! No! We've used Tuck Shaka so much it's not in Inferno, or what's his name anymore. Oh, that's funny. It used to be Infernus. But Tuck Shaka has been meta for so long it's become Tuck Shaka. Oh no! Never mind. It used to be Infernus. Rip. Rip the era of Infernus. Oh, that's funny. Tuck Shaka's been meta for long enough now that's not Infernus anymore. This is the team we're planning on running for Broken Spire. It has Ogres for mana accumulation and tank. It has Resummon and a bunch of mana accumulation. And then we're just using double damage. And even if they have Submerge, you can just bypass it with Infernus. But this is our plan for most of Guild War. We will adjust accordingly depending on the enemy team. But it should work for about 90+% of battles. And that's one really hard counter is Brown. Like if there's like a Brown Null or something, maybe we might want to reconsider. But even then, we still have Barrier on Brown. We still have really high reduction. We even have a Resummon on first slot, though. Unfortunately, it's a Brown Resummon. So it does get hit by the extra damage. Which could be a little bit scary, but it should cover all our ground. Should work out pretty well. Only big issue with it, I guess I could see, is Cleanse. It doesn't have any way to cleanse. Like a really stally Deathmark Terror kind of team could work. Which actually another interesting thing. Purple Angle has access to Terror and Leprechaun at the end. It's actually really interesting if a battle goes on for a while. Like, if you have a really stally team, Purple is a great location to try to go for Deathmark stall, where you go, like, really bulky and you try to kill them with Deathmark Terror. Like, defensively, try to kill the enemy with Deathmark Terror. Because there's going to be a lot of times where you don't have access to a good cleanse. Like, if you want to cleanse off of Broken Spire, your only option in the entire game is, I believe, Shekra's Heart. Like, you have almost nothing to cleanse with. Like, if we go type in cleanse right here, you have Doomed Gravel, which I believe only cleanses yellows on your team. So only if every ally on your team is a yellow will cleanse you. And Shekra's Heart is the only consistent one. It creates 7 red gems, cleanses all allies, and gives a bunch of life to a random ally for 14 mana cost. So this is basically your only realistic way to cleanse for Broken Spire, is Shekra's Heart. That does not leave you with much of an option. So going Deathmark heavy and everything could be an interesting strategy. Going like Silence, Deathmark, Terror, and going purple. And just build like really stall builds that can eventually just kill. The problem is, will they kill quick enough? Maybe not. But Broken Spire has a distinct lack of cleansing. Beyond like Shekra's Heart pretty much. Like it's the only option available. Which does not leave much. Yeah, that's another route. I'm not sure if people are going to go bothering down that route. But it is definitely a strategy. As Broken Spire has very few ways of dealing with it. You basically have to sacrifice your hero weapon to be able to have an option for it. What is the strategy for de-spread out the best players or stack at the end? Oh, you should put all your best players at the end. Put all your worst players at the beginning and all your best players at the end. Basically, if you feel like you're at the bottom half of your guild stats-wise, you should be going to the earliest fights possible, all the way up front. And if you're someone who has like literally everything in the game, pretty much max kingdoms or literally max kingdoms, stuff like that, you should go all the way to the end. Because you get way more of a benefit as you have a lot more stats, so your team is a lot more likely to win. And your absolute best player should be all the way at the end at Palace. Like all the people who are completely maxed with absolutely everything in the game kind of stuff. But yeah, generally you should be backloading all of your best players in like the final 2 zones, ideally. Alright, there we go. Nice, because it's really important to make sure they lose at least once. And the best way to ensure that is put all your best players in the final 2 sections. So basically that means your best player should only be going to basically 1 of 3. Or sorry, 1 of 4. Your absolute best should be defending Palace. So whatever one can get in there first should be doing Palace. But then all your other best players should be in the other back 3. So for green, that's Divine, Meta, Naga with Takshaka, and then Taurus teams. For here, it would be the really strong Dragon team, some kind of Undead team with, what's his name, Grey King, and then some kind of strong Giant team, and so on and so forth for every single one. But yeah, these final 4, like all the 3 right below the Palace and Palace, or where you should be putting all your best players, those 4, particularly Palace, but those 4. Keep in mind you do have to spread everyone evenly though, so it might also become a somewhat of a first serve, first come basis. But generally, if you're a lower level player, you should be taking from the bottom first and working your way up. And if you're a higher level player, you should be taking from the top first and work your way down. And then just everyone fills out the rest in the middle. If they come in like a day or 2 late to go set their defend team. Because I think you have like 3 days to set your defend team or something. It's a really long amount of time. They mentioned it somewhere here. How long do you have to set your defend? I think it's like 3 or 4 days. Like before you only had 1 day. You have so long to set your defend teams now. Control, find, defend. Yeah, 3 days before Guild War. You literally have 3 days. That is so long. Back in the day, every single Guild War iteration we've ever had, you only had 1 day to set your defend. But you have triple that time now. So if you come in by like the 3rd day, there probably will be almost like no slots left to go take. And you just have to fill whatever hole is left. Because it's very important that you distribute everywhere so you still get max points. Otherwise, it's the equivalent of using like a double of a troop back in the day, where you would lose points for that. Yeah, I don't believe you get penalized that in the new system, but you do have to spread everyone evenly. Otherwise, you do get penalized. You also have to go spread your battles evenly. There's something in here where you gain like 1,000 points. Somewhere around here. Collecting a set of conquests earns a bonus 1,000 points. So this is basically when you take one of every single building. So you have to make sure you spread very, very, very evenly. Because to be able to take one of every single building, you would have to go and spread 27 people basically evenly across everything. So you got to make sure that you always take every single path across your guild. So whatever ones you see at the lowest, you might want to go down every single day. Like, for example, let's say, I don't know, Naga has like 8 wins, Divine has 7, but Taurus only has 6. You want to go down the path where you go down Goblin Taurus, which means you have to go by the annoying Goblin team. But, yeah, you want to make sure you get even sets, so you get those extra 1,000 points over and over again. So you do need to spread your wins as well. Not just your defense, but also your offensive. So you end up getting those extra 1,000 points over and over and over again. And you basically do that based on whatever one has the least amount of wins when you're doing Guild War. And of course, if you get into Guild War early, that gives you a lot of options. But if you come in later, you want to go try taking the ones that haven't been taken as much, even if they're harder paths. So encourage just doing Guild Wars early. It's best to set your defend teams early, and it's best to take your offense early every single day that is a Guild War. They'll be taking them later in the day, so we'll have to clean up whatever's left from our guild. Because we will be doing it in the last several hours every single day. Because of course we'll be doing it at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Anyways, what are we doing? I want to open some vault keys. Don't want to do that quite yet. I want to claim all these, but we somehow haven't finished it yet. Still got to do 3 more of the other one. We'll go do that in a moment. Alright, let's go to PvP, I guess, then. Let's go to PvP next. So, PvP, what do we need to do for you today? The restrictions are either Giant or Divine. I'm going to take Giant. I want to go down the, what's it called, path, since we have access to it. Oh yeah, let me go get my extra magic first before we do that. So we have a little bit of extra bonus. We'll go grab this, kill it out real quick with Takshaka build. I didn't even realize that. We've used Takshaka so much, Infernus is no longer our most used troop. Aw, that's a sad day. That lasted for like at least 7 or 8 years. Infernus being our most used troop in PvP. But Takshaka has been meta for long enough that it has eclipsed it. You know what might be doing it too? We're using double Takshaka. So I wonder if it counts as double since we're using 2 in a team as well. Catch you later, Mr. Sandwich. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, I know. It's based on each location. But the reason why I say that is the middle location is based on the old meta. Like, the middle location is based on the old PvP system. Not the new PvP system. So Infernus was still there because it was going off an old PvP system. So, like, you know, if you use something 10,000 times in the old system, it would show there as 10,000 times. But now our 17,000 Takshaka is higher. I can't remember how high Infernus was. I think it was like 12, 13,000 or something. They are 16, 17,000 Takshakas finally passed it. Technically has for a while then, because we definitely didn't do it with several thousand battles that last week, that's for sure. I did a bit more PvP last week, but definitely not 7,000 worth. We did some more, not that much more though. Wait, does that show up on profile as well? Was there a tab for that on profile? Hey, still shows Infernus. See, I told you, Infernus meta. Hey. We still got it. Yeah, honestly, I'm looking forward to the Broken Spire. You know how long it's been since we've run a proper Infernus team? Infernus for such a long time was such an amazing all-round troop. It still is. It's just when you have the option of using anything, it's kind of fallen off a bit. As we're currently losing to it for the first time today. But, ignoring this battle where it's beating us, it is generally not worth using when you have access to everything these days. Ignore the battle that we're losing against it on. Too much of a threat, must kill. Honestly, the main MVP here is how much HP this thing is given the team. That is so much bulk, and it makes killing with true damage so much harder. Also, the skull spam's not helping. Let's try it again. Oh, no wonder why. This is the special battle, isn't it? I was wondering why I was doing so much better. This isn't a normal PvP fight. This is the final obelisk battle. I was wondering why this fight was so hard. I was gonna say, this shouldn't be beating us this hard. But that's why. Oh, it all makes sense now. I understand why we're losing so hard. I was gonna say, Infernus is nowhere near this strong. Nor is she. But it's because we're against the fight that has like a billion extra stats. That's why it's killing us so hard. I was gonna say, because there's no reason why this thing should be destroying us that bad. But that'd explain why. I thought this was a normal PvP fight and not the obelisk thingy. There we go. Oh, it's a hard obelisk for once. Alright, anyways. Let's go take out our actual PvP thing now. Alright, what do I even want to run here? I'm pretty sure just Hero double Baldur into like a Titan with a weapon. Let's see, Baldur. And then the only other thing we need is anything. I guess Wand, technically. Oh no, is Wand gonna get up quick enough though? But I was gonna run this with I'll say just Titan is fine. I don't know, do we need mech? We don't really need mech for this. I'm gonna go like a blue-brown kind of angle. +2 blue, +1 brown, -1 yellow, something like that. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that should be fine. The double empowered kingdoms will be dangerous. Oh gosh. Oh, so hello Lester, by the way. Welcome, welcome. Hello Imperial. Welcome, welcome. Alright, that killed way less than I was hoping it would. Because hello, Beg for Mercy. Never give them a turn, I know, right? I'm really curious to see what that new system will do later this year. When there's going to be a mechanic that could just, like, delete extra turns. Because the way that you play a battle, if literally everything doesn't give you an extra turn, is quite a bit interesting compared to how you currently play the game. Because that really, really, really changes things. If both teams are forced to never get an extra turn. As well as a bunch of other effects, but that's probably the most noteworthy one. Because that makes a lot of troops that are really average right now absurdly, absurdly good. Like the ones that auto-end their turn that have like a decent ability in theory, but the fact they end their turn makes them kind of bad. But then if everything ended their turn, it makes them a lot better. Because them not having extra turn potential doesn't matter then. That's not coming till later this year, though. The earliest we would get that is like summer. It could be even later than that, like a November update or something around there. Why don't they give all the ore troops a choice mechanic? Probably because of how they're coded. It'd probably be too much work to recode them the other way, compared to just releasing a new troop. I feel like there's a lot of mechanics that way. Because there are a few interactions that work slightly differently depending on what troop it's on. Like if it was on a troop recently compared to a troop like 6 or 7 years ago. But it probably has something to do with the spaghetti code that makes it so they can't really change the old ones. Alright, one more fight for good luck. I'm not sure why I do this fight. I guess for progress on the PvP thingy. You got a 35 gem tribute yesterday? Nice! Huge congrats. That's a big pull. I still have yet to see the perfect elusive one. I think Tyrion sent me a screenshot of it the other month. I've yet to see one yet, though. Which I think is, what, a 37 right now? I think is truly perfect. Or, you know, a 38 tribute with 37 gems. It's very, very rare. Like almost lottery winning rare, just so rare. Even if you have every kingdom as max as they could be. Alright, we haven't done the Valhawk grind yet, so let me just do the Alpha Center real quick. Oh yeah, we haven't handed out that many codes, and we got another one. I think we handed out one all stream so far. Also, I'm still using December codes, by the way, I think. Or are those January codes? I have no clue. Oh yeah, we have a special code to hand out. I think we'll be handing it out tomorrow, by the way. I think it's one of the old dragon pets, like the dragon kitty or something, I can't remember. But we have a special code that we'll be handing out tomorrow, assuming it's patch day. I'll be doing it on patch day. I think it's dragon kitty though, so it's nothing too interesting. A lot of people probably already have that. They've rehanded it out quite a few times. But I believe that's the special pet we'll be handing out tomorrow, assuming we get patched tomorrow. Because we'll hand it out on a patch day, which I'm pretty sure is tomorrow night at this time, or 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. About an hour prior to now tomorrow. You got 3 Sentinel drops last week, 2 of which were new? Nice, huge congrats. I'm still stuck at 4 out of 6, unfortunately. Luckily, I do have the better ones. Most notably, the blue one is really good. The one that has Curse Freeze is by far the strongest one. The blue Curse Freeze one. So I do have the strongest one out of them. However, yeah, I'm still missing 2. But I do have all the better ones. Most notably the best one, which is that one. But having that doesn't give us all of them, unfortunately. We'll get them at some point, though. Which reminds me, we need to go do that next. We need to go do Underspire after this. We'll go until we get our Valhawks and then go do Underspire. What class generates certain colors best? Example, do you run Frost Mage if you want to generate extra blue? Archer for green, Archmages for purple? They only generate more of their color if they have a storm. So the only one that creates like a lot more color, because I believe it's the only one with Perpetual Storm rather than Start at Storm. Or, like quite a few of them have a start with Storm. So for example, Archer is pretty good with it because I believe it has green link into Storm, or it definitely has green Storm. I don't think it has green link now that I think about it. But it does have green Storm. And a few of them that have that are okay. But the only one that really helps out a lot in that regard is Sunspear. Sunspear has Perpetual Red Storm. Like, as long as it doesn't get stunned, it does Red Storm every turn and reapplies it. But aside from that, most of them don't really help you with the color. And most will give you like a 4-turn Storm that if the enemy even has a single Storm, will override it immediately. So, Sunspear, the only one that works really well in that regard. Every other class is barely helps at all in helping with a certain color. There's some that help a lot with accumulating that color, like Archmages for purple. Oh no, the Valhawk just ran away. But Archmages for purple and Archmages has +3 purple, Priest has +2 yellow, and Corsair, or whatever that one is called, the pirate one, has +3 blue. But aside from those 4, the Perpetual Red Storm, +3 purple, +3 blue, and +2 yellow, most of them don't really help you that much with color. Any more than like a standard troop would. Hey, by the way, the mic has been fine, right? I had some mic issues earlier today. It's really weird because the video had no mic issues. Then I did a little stream earlier for, Brighter Shores, and I had mic issues. And then this stream, it's like, okay, I think I have no mic issues again. It's really weird. Only wants to work for Jim's Award today. Honestly, I've had a lot of computer issues today. I'm not sure what's been going on. I assume it's just some kind of weird stuff with the Windows 11 update the other day or something, or the other week. But I've had a lot of technical difficulties though. As well as that weird glitch I was talking about earlier. Because I was wondering why time was not moving. Because it was like 11 something a.m. and my clock on my computer said 7:23 a.m. or 7:24, whatever it was. I was like, wait, that's not right. It was because the whole frozen bottom tab got frozen. Like nothing was crashing or anything. It's just the whole bottom start bar was completely frozen in time. All the tabs, the actual time of day, everything like that. Strangest thing I've ever seen. Like, it's one of those things that you just expect to always work, and then the second it doesn't, it's like, wait, that's not right. We had daylight saving times for like 4 hours back, apparently. Instead of losing an hour, we lost 4 hours now. That's what it felt like, though. Because I looked at the time, it was like, that can't possibly be right. Hey, did we get our 3 Valhawks? Yeah, I haven't been keeping track. One of them technically ran away, but we could easily just get more of them. No! The one that ran away, we could have already had them done. No! We'll hand out a code once we find the next one. The one that ran away could have been our last one. Oh, that's sad. Luckily, one thing that's nice about this daily is you don't ever lose it. Even if they run away, you have infinite attempts. The only thing that running away does is make the daily take longer. You get infinite attempts to go get them, though. They could run away 10 times and you'd still get the same reward as long as you still killed them 3 times. It'll just make it take way longer. But you never actually lose any reward for them running away like a lot of other things in the game. Where if they run away, you just lose it outright. But in PvP, if a Valhawk runs away, it just stalls how long it takes for you to get 3 kills. But you're always allowed to get 3 kills on them regardless of how many times you fail at them. Which is one of the few mechanics in the entire game that's like that. One other weird thing in that regard is Vault Keys actually always give you loot even if they run away. I think that's a leftover mechanic from when Vault Keys used to be way harder to get than they are now. But if the gnomes in a Vault battle run away, you still get the loot. The only thing that will make you not get the loot is if you somehow lose the fight. Or if you like disconnect during it. There it is. Alright, don't lose somehow. Watch me miss and it runs away. Could you imagine? Oh no, it gets a turn. Oh no, it's actually gonna happen. Alright, that was scary. Almost ran away twice on us. That was almost a very detrimental miss. That's how it happens though. Alright, we're done with PvP now. Oh yeah, oh wait, no we're not. Let's go hand out a code. Because we found the Valhawk. But wait, we gotta go open the 3 things. Yep, no problem. Alright, let me go and open the 3 chests. Oh wait, we don't have enough yet, do we? Wait. I just realized, never mind, I can't yet. We're still in the beginning of a PvP season. No! I forgot about it, never mind, we'll have to wait till next week. I don't have 20,000 PvP points yet. Never mind, scratch that. Oh, that's sad. Yeah, we don't have enough PvP points yet. Wow, they still haven't fixed that? Wait, this has been glitched since last week. They still haven't fixed it yet. Does that mean they haven't fixed the other one either? Oh, that's funny. They still haven't fixed the icon for Mortal Gemini or for Immortal Selene. Are they even aware it's broken? Maybe it'll be fixed with the upcoming update tomorrow. But, yeah, both of these icons have been broken since last week's Monday. I would assume the patch tomorrow will fix it. Not sure if they mentioned that anywhere yet. But, that'd be kind of funny if it doesn't. Because it's been broken all PvP season so far. And it's still not fixed yet. It has that weird empty icon, or in this case, a white icon. Of having absolutely nothing there. It's trying to read something. It's failing, though. It's sure trying to get a file there, though. But it's missing. Yeah, I assume they'll have that fixed by hopefully tomorrow's patch. But if it's not... Alright, let's see. I'll grab that. I'm gonna go grab whatever's in the campaign pass. Did we buy it? Yeah, we did. Alright, we're getting near the end of the season as well. Only got a couple weeks left. Oh yeah, we get our final deed book next week, don't we? Ooh, shiny. I think I only need one more after that. We need to upgrade 2 more Magic Kingdoms. One of them is almost done. And we're likely putting on Silverglade. Look at that. 26 out of 28. We are so close. I think we have it next week. Because all we have to do next week is go open the things. Hope we get 1 purple, and boom, we're good to go. And the second scrap together 22 more purple deeds. Let me go check. Do I have any writs? Can I scrap together any amount of purple deeds at all? I can get 8. Okay, good. All right, how many more purple deeds do we need? Quick, I need a purple deed event. Actually, technically we had one today. We already did it off stream earlier, where we got another 8. Sorry, 9, I mean. But, yeah, how many more do we need? Because we'll likely get 1 from the random RNG thingy next week. We'll get 1 guaranteed from the pass. I just got to scrap together 14 more purple deeds. Actually, even less than that if we get it, because we have 1 guaranteed from the pass. So we either have to get, from there, either get the RNG one off of PvP, or scrap together 14 more deeds from doing a bunch of, like, explore spam or something. But we are so close to that permanent magic. Actually, we got to go get it next week, too. Because we got to get it before Guild War. Because that will give us basically max magic. I will be 2 magic short, because I won't have Blighted Lands upgraded. But we'll be 2 magic away from absolute max magic that you could possibly ever have in the game in the current state of the game. Right now we're 4 short, but after we get that upgraded, hopefully before next Guild War, we're only going to be 2 short of max magic. The only reason we don't have the other one is we don't really go out of our way to buy that many purple deed books, you know, with money. I only really get it if it's on, like, the season pass or something. I don't go out of the way to buy, like, the money offers for them. Alright, what are we doing? Underspire. Let's go to Underspire. Likely I should still have the Underspire team say. Oh, yeah! Oh, no! The team I overwrit was my Underspire team, wasn't it? Oh, no. Can I get it from the event? Oh, no. I might have to grab it from my video. Oh, no. Good. I can still grab it here. Otherwise, I would have to actually go use the copy-paste from our own video, which would be kind of funny. I actually have done that before. Where I'd go reference my own video to go grab the teams that I forgot to go get. I've done that a good handful of times because I'll overwrite it to show something on stream or something else or for a Friday video. And it's like, oh, wait, I still need that team. And it's like, oh, yeah, it's deleted. Well, I guess I got to check my own video for it. This happened a good handful of times. And almost just did if I didn't have that there. Is the campaign mythic any good? No. They've been having a really bad streak of awful campaign mythics. It's actually really, really bad. And so is almost all of them in the last several campaigns. Luckily, the overall value for it's still pretty worth it for 10 bucks. But the campaign mythic themselves have been so abysmal the last several campaigns. Like, worse half of mythics. Like, not even something that's, like, half usable. Like, I'm talking, like, on the lower half of mythics. Like, the category of stuff you wouldn't even use under, like, a specific restriction. Like, the category of stuff so bad, you basically never even touch it ever. But that's been the case for, like, the last 5 to 7 or so. They've been on a really bad dry streak on awful campaign mythics. It's been so long, honestly, I can't remember the last time that was even, like, half usable. I'm not sure why they do that, though. I guess to make it so it doesn't seem as pay-to-win. But then in Guild Wars, they're going to be releasing $5 max legends. Which is so absurdly good value. So much so, I might even get it every time. I'm not sure if I will, though, because it's like 70 bucks a year. That definitely starts adding up over time. But we might. At least initially we will, just to try it out. After that, it'll kind of depend on if the mythic's actually good or not, I mean. Or, you know, the legend, I mean. But it's one of the more pay-to-win things that they've added in a while. Where paying for it, you can quite literally pay to win. Like, you can literally buy wins with gems. It's about as pay-to-win as, in the literal sense, as you could possibly get. You're literally paying money to be able to buy wins for Guild Wars. And then the reward from that gives you just pure stats on a mythic. Like 2 lower mana cost and a buffed up ability. Hopefully they won't put it on anything too broken, so it won't feel like you have to go for it. But the second they put it on a half good legend, That's like the easiest $5 purchase in the entire game if you're spending any amount of money on it. If they put it on something like actually half decent, like something that's already good, that'll become absurdly better by having 2 lower mana. Like imagine if like Beatrix or Truffle had 2 lower mana or something. Or one of the 50% mana start troops that are used a lot or anything under those categories. Someone mentioned earlier the first one might be on Artima. If that is the case, that's honestly not that good. While Artima did get buffed in the most recent change, even after the buff and even with 2 lower mana costs and even with an improvement to her ability, I don't think she's used. Like, she's not a bad troop, but she's in a category that I feel like a lot of them are going to be in when they start giving those buffs. In that it's usable, but it's not going to be replacing the meta. Because an Artima that becomes shiny and has 2 lower mana costs and slightly better ability, you would maybe use that in like a Centaur restriction or something similar like that. But beyond that, you're not really bringing it out much. It's not like you're going to use her as like your new tank for every team or something. Like, it's definitely an improvement, but it's not going to make her just magically used everywhere. Even under Centaur restrictions, there would still be situations if you have everything else where you wouldn't even run her. Because even with 2 lower mana costs, she would still be too slow for a lot of teams. Especially because of the new 50% mana start troop. Because you have to keep in mind, 50% mana start when you have 2 lower mana is technically only 1 mana saved compared to before. Because if you have a 16 mana cost compared to a 12 mana cost, or sorry, a 16 compared to a 14, the difference when you have a 50% mana start is the difference between 7 and 8. So even though the troop in theory has a 2 lower mana cost, in a situation we're using on a team with 50% mana cost, is only a 1 lower mana cost. So in that situation, that 2 lower mana cost barely even does anything. As the 2 reduction is effectively a 1 reduction. But we'll have to wait to see what they end up putting it on ultimately. But if the first one is for Artima, it's not going to be that worth it. I'll probably still get it just to try it out and everything since it's the first ever Guild War. But Artima is not that good of a target for it. I'm curious to see what some of the shiny designs will be for them though. Like, that's another thing you do get unlocked for it. The shiny visual for it. And you do get to exclusively have it like a few months early. Since it won't be added to the shiny drop key table until after the fact, after like 3 months later. And some of them I do actually really like the design when they get shiny. Not so much that spending $5 on it would be worth it, but you know, some of them get some really cool designs when shinied. Also, keep in mind, if you get 18 wins out of 20, you still get the shiny upgrade regardless. Like the visual upgrade. So you can still get that without paying. But just if you want to get it all the way maxed, you would basically have to pay. Or wait multiple months and then dump a billion shiny keys. Which legendary would you have shiny? Like if we could choose any? It would definitely be any of them that are really extra turn heavy. And all the ones that come to mind are oddly enough already Underworld ones. Like things they use a lot, like Truffle and Beatrix and such. I'm trying to think. What would be some of like the broken ones if they were to add it? If we were to go to like base rarity legendary. Because let's assume they're not going to do it to any faction legend. What would be some of the strongest legends? So Artima was the one we were talking about earlier. This might be one of the ones that gets applied to. If they were to do it to her, she would be a 13 mana cost. Would probably damage the 3 weakest enemies instead of 2 weakest enemies. Which actually would be a pretty big upgrade now that I think about it damage-wise. Oh, maybe that's the upgrade they're doing. Okay, I see what they're doing then. So if Artima was to become shinied, aside from having a different visual, she would have 13 mana cost instead of 15. And she would explode a row, and then instead of dealing damage to the 2 weakest enemies, she would probably deal damage to the 3 weakest enemies instead. So basically, she would hit everything except the strongest enemy then. Okay, that's not awful. And then, of course, she would still have all her other buffs. The 25% score reduction, the 50% ignore, 40% dodge. I think they end up giving her this armored earlier. She used to have a different trait here, but then they give her armored. Also, hello, Ron! Welcome, welcome. Hope all's been well. Getting ready for the patch? Yep, patch tomorrow. Hopefully, fingers crossed. But yeah, if they do it to Artima, yeah, it's a decent improvement, but it's not going to be like game breaking. They are increasing her damage by about 50%, assuming she does get to hit the 3 weakest instead of 2 weakest though. And doing that for 13 mana is not awful. Especially with 50% mana starter Centaur. Basilisk could be kind of interesting if it ends up doing a little bit of extra buff. Like if they do the double damage to triple damage. And of course bringing it down to 15 mana cost. Bone Dragon could become re-meta again. You know what would be really funny with Bone Dragon? I highly doubt they will ever do it. But if any of you guys remember OG Bone Dragon, it had no cap on how much armor it could tier. Like, you know, the boost ratio based on it. And I would love to see a shiny Bone Dragon that unnerfs him. A 13 mana cost Bone Dragon that does full armor tier and creates skulls based on the entire thing. That would be so funny. They would never do that. But imagine if they unnerfed Bone Dragon with shiny. That would be funny. Borealis would be a little bit more useful shiny because you can actually get the freeze down. Captain McCall would be kind of interesting because you get a lot of insta kills off of Submerge. It'd become a really good Submerge counter then. Kind of already is, but it would actually be more usable. Celestacia would go from being dead content to actually maybe used. I'm trying to think what else. Crimson Bat and stuff like it are just like better damage sources. Like it wouldn't upkeep them a lot, but it would help a little bit. Any 50% mana start trip that gets it would be pretty solid. Like if Divinish Bala got it, she would move down to 16 mana cost and probably enchant 3 allies instead of 2. Anything like this that's a good support would probably gain a lot of benefit from it. Because having 2 lower mana costs and a little bit extra effect would be really strong. What other ones are there? Maybe a Sensei getting something that actually does something would be kind of funny. And then get 12 mana costs. Another 50%er. I likely won't do it to troops like this. Skull Spam double converters would be kind of interesting if they end up getting. I highly doubt those would ever be a target of shininess though. Because that would kind of put off the balance of all of them. Because if some have shiny but some don't. Oh, shiny Gorgoltha. Bringing Gorgoltha back from the dead would be funny. If they made it so he exploded all gems and cleanse all allies while having a 13 mana cost. Oh, that would be funny. They could make Gorgoltha usable again. Oh, I hope they do that. Wait, that's actually a really good one. And that wouldn't even be that broken either compared to the current meta for mana accumulating. Make Gorgoltha 13 mana costs and make his ability cleanse all instead of just cleanse self. Oh, that would be fun. They can make Gorgoltha great again. Holy Saint Astra would have some interesting implications with Tesla and a few other teams if it became shiny. Hindla would actually be usable a bit more if it became shiny. Gerald would be a lot more usable if it did because it normally has mana issues. So if it got like 1 higher gem spawn for red and yellow and a 2 lower mana cost, your environmental teams in 4 times giant would be a lot more usable than they are now. So that would actually be a really good target for one. It would bring Euro from being almost dead content to an actually really good giant looper, which is what it was originally supposed to be to begin with. Inferno King getting it would be the most annoying thing in the world. Keeper of Souls getting it would be interesting because then it would compete with Vashtagan better. Not Vashtagan, what's that one thing's called? Immortal Ossifer. Keeper of Souls getting it so it could compete with Immortal Ossifer would be cool. King Avalon getting it because it's a 50% mana star troop would be fun. Anything like Truffle that ever gets it would be the most broken troop in the world and should never, ever do that to that or Beatrix or anything like that. That is just way too broken. Again, a 50% mana star troop getting it would be nice. Not broken, but usable more. Same as King Mikhail. Anything that's like pure damage that gets it, pretty nice. Yeah, I know. $5 shinies is really broken. Like $5 to max out a mythic to get 2 lower mana cost and a better ability is very broken. Even if it's added to something pretty average. What other ones are kind of interesting if they end up getting it? Oh wait, I think we're down to epics now. No, we're still at legends. I don't know what else is kind of really out there that isn't just a damage source. Oh, Scion's kind of interesting. It used to be used as a mana drainer back in the day, back when Famine Scion was a thing. But it's fallen off the meta for a while now, so having something where it could become a little bit more usable would be interesting. And 13 mana cost with a revamped ability could be potentially do that. Beatrix would be the most broken thing in the world if it got it. Queen would also be kind of annoying with it. Pure damage sources are already good, should probably never get it. Like Queen Titania getting shiny is so broken. 14 mana costs and this being better. Way too broken, probably. Double Skull Spammers obviously being good with it. Oh, I would love to see Shadow Dragon get it. This is the first legend I ever got in the game, and I always wish it was a little bit more viable in the current state of the game. It has been such dead content for so long. It was kind of good in like the early states of the game, but it has fallen off so badly now. I would love to see this thing become usable again with it. Let's see. Shekar would be kind of interesting because it's Skull Spam. 50% mana start, always good with it. Is that pretty much all of them now? Savani Moore is kind of interesting because it's utility. Oh, this thing would be insane with it. This is one of those that is probably too broken to ever get shiny. It has triple damage to entangle, impervious, high score reduction, and a decent ability. And be able to do that decent ability even better. Because the weakest part about him is his ability right now. So if he had 2 lower mana costs and a better ability, oh gosh, that'd be scary. Because he's used almost entirely for his trait. Oh yeah, Shiny Tesla. Could you imagine? That is like the quickest $5 that will ever be spent. Honestly, they might make like $1 million if they release that. That'd be so broken though. That's like the most pay-to-win thing ever. Imagine Shiny Tesla. As if it wasn't broken enough. Imagine they made Shiny Tesla a 2-to-1 booster ratio with 13 mana cost. It'd be stronger than like 98% of mythics in the game. It already pretty much is, to be honest. They would never do that though. Unless you just want to make infinite money. But that is so unbalanced. That is like the most pay-to-win thing ever. If they were to ever do that. That'd be so hilarious though. Making Great Maul great again would be funny. Great Wyvern. Any other noteworthy ones? Mirage Queen's kind of interesting. You don't normally use Mirage Queen for its ability. So it having a 2 higher, lower mana cost and a slightly better ability is kind of interesting. Like if it did Uber Doom Skulls instead of Doom Skulls. And doing that for 2 lower mana for everything it does. But once again, that's under the 50% Mana Star category. Any 50% Mana Star troop that gets it is kind of broken. Because you're already using them to begin with for the 50% Mana Start. But yeah, that's pretty much most of them then. Alright. Yeah, there's a handful of ones that would be definitely kind of crazy if they ever got it. I assume they're not going to target any of the really good ones though. Like, I highly, highly doubt they're ever going to put it on Tesla. Because that is just so absurdly broken if they ever did. Anyways, what we're doing? I think we're still doing Iron Spire. Go finish that real quick and then we'll hand out a code. Shiny Tesla's infinite money glitch. I don't think they would have ever in the history of the game released anything more pay to win than if they released Shiny Tesla for $5. That is the most effective $5 you could ever spend in the history of the game. If they release Shiny Tesla for $5. Like, why even need Mythics? You just run Tesla for everything, assuming you can in your current restriction. Hey, we found the room. Nice, we got perfect first floor. Let's go kill it out real quick. I assume they will never put it on something as broken as Tesla. I assume most of the targets will be something, you know, like mid-range kind of stuff. Like stuff that's not bad, but, you know, they can kind of become a little bit better by being shinied. I'm very doubtful something like Tesla or Queen Titania or anything in those categories are ever going to get it. Because they're already just so good to begin with. And making them even better would make them stronger than most mythics. Because even Tesla and Queen Titania and a few others like that, and Beatrix and Truffle, like a lot of them already are better than mythics. Also, why do we have a... Oh, okay, I was going to say, why do I have a spear torch? It's because it didn't take it down yet. I was going to say, I should have 0 torches, not 1. But yeah, it didn't take down yet. That's fine. I was going to say, I wonder if I have a torch left. That should be exactly enough. But yeah, we got perfect force 4. Nice. We did that. We did that. Is there anything else we haven't done then? We did that. We did campaign. We did the key thing. I think it's Volky opening time. I think we've done every daily and weekly that we could do right now. Yeah, let's go open up like 41 Volkies so we're down to like 150. Oh yeah, let me go into another code. I'll send the code for every big drop during the Volky. There you guys go. Here's another code. I don't think I forgot anything. Isn't that everything? Until tomorrow when we go for all the flower dragons. And then we'll go open every flower dragon, go over the patch notes tomorrow, everything else. But yeah, I think we're down to just open up keys now. Yeah, let's go do it. Oh, not with that team. But yeah, that was the Broken Spire team for next Guild War. A few other iterations. We'll cover a whole video on them later. That's one of the teams we can go run. Anyways, let's go run a real team. Not that one. Where is it? Takshaka, Stelrix 1. There we go. Your credit card would be permanently dented if they released Shiny Tesla. That's the only thing I'm concerned with that new transaction. Is imagine if they actually learn how to do microtransactions. You know, things that are supposed to be only like a few bucks, but actually be worthwhile. Imagine if they learn how to do microtransactions properly. Because the way that they're doing the current Guild War thing is how microtransactions are supposed to be. You know, like a few bucks for something that's actually worthwhile. Not like $50 for absolutely nothing. They're learning. It took them about 11 years, but they're slowly learning what a microtransaction is supposed to be. Too bad a new patch is not today. It could be St. Patrick's Day. Wait, is today St. Patrick's Day? Happy St. Patrick's Day then. Wait, is today St. Patrick's Day? I know it's soon because of the whole skull and everything. I don't normally keep track of the holiday. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone. Yeah, that's something we never get in Gems of War. We don't get St. Patrick's Day pets. They always do like the skulls and everything else in game, but we don't get like a yearly pet for St. Patrick's Day for some reason. Probably because it's so close to Easter, so they don't want to do them back to back or something. Of course, Easter being next month. So where are all the good drops at? I know we haven't opened that many yet, but and there's summers. We haven't even gotten a major orbit disappointment yet. Well, at least one major orbit disappointment. How are we supposed to be disappointed by if we don't get an orb? We got a small orb, but that doesn't count. We need a big orb. Small orb is always going to be disappointing. Didn't notice the St. Patrick's skulls? Yeah, they've been around since all Vault weekend. They've been here literally all weekend. I think they started out like Friday. It was either Thursday or Friday. I think it was Friday. Yeah, they've been around for like 4 or 5 days now. And same as the green ones. The greens are now clovers and the skulls are all leprechaun. Also, it'd be funny if they added a rare chance for one of the green gems to be a 4-leaf clover. I'm pretty sure that's not a thing because I've never seen one in game, and they've been running this for like 10 years. But it would be funny if you just randomly come across a 4-leaf clover. Actually, that'd be a fun power gem. I wonder if they would ever release that. A 4-leaf clover green power gem that does something. A 4-leaf clover pet? That would be pretty cool too. I'm not sure if we will because we never just got any St. Patrick's Day pet. But it would be funny if they started out of nowhere. Like after 10 years, it's like, oh yeah, we'll start adding St. Patrick's Day pets now. Because I think pets started back in, what, 2017? They started around 4th of July 2017. I think that eagle was the first one. Is it 2017 or 2018? Pretty sure it was 2017. Which means if they randomly decide doing St. Patrick's Day after 2 years, or, you know, 2 years from now, that'd be 10 years after they started doing it. 10 years late, but better late than never. I assume the only reason they don't is because it's so close to Easter. Especially some years. I think they're only like, what, 2 weeks apart some years or something? Depending on where Easter falls. Oh, Ace of Wands. Speaking of things, that's one of the 4 needed for the Immortal Lucifer, or whatever his name is. Not Immortal Lucifer, whatever that thing is called. Dragon Lord Luther. But he's going to be somewhat usable for the Broken Spire event. So you have some Vault keys laying around and you weren't able to get the 10-year anniversary Dragon Lord Luther from last November. Yeah, you might want to open all your Vault keys in the next few days and see if you can get it over the next week. He's definitely not required, because I'm pretty sure the main team I'll be using will not be using Dragon Lord Luther. Oh, finally, our first major orbit disappointment. But if you don't have things like the Dragon to use, or if you don't have, like, Infernus, it'd be a really great alternative for one of the two. And you could use Lava Dragon plus Dragon Lord Luther or something, instead of having to use, like, double Lava Dragon if you're missing everything else. It'd be a great upgrade for the Broken Spire next week. I mean, not Broken Spire. I mean, the Broken Spire team for Guild Wars next week. And you can still open all your Vault Keys from last week and I hope you get it then. You do need all 4 tarot cards though. But all of them are in drop table now. So where are all the good drops? We've got 120 gem key. You know what? I mean, 120 gems. I'm just going to hand out a code for that. I normally don't for the smaller gem drop, but we're at a low bar today. Our drops have not been particularly good, these Vault Keys. We'll hand it out for that, I guess. I normally only do it for the 300 gem, but we're down bad today. We'll count that as a good drop. Gems are gems. It's a smaller drop, but it's still helpful. But yeah, does anyone else have any other questions they didn't want me to go over? Do let me know. Because once we get down to 150 Vault Keys, probably going to call it for the night. And then tomorrow, hopefully, fingers crossed, we should be doing a patch stream. And the main goal for tomorrow night, aside from going over all the patch notes and everything, is go get all of the flower dragons. And then go use all the flower dragons. That's the game plan for tomorrow. Obtain and use all the flower dragons, most notably the final form. Because obviously that's going to be the main one that gets used. Though you know which one is my favorite though, the blue one for sure. But unfortunately the blue one's not particularly viable. You'll still use it sometimes, like how we have to go use the red celestial dragon for the Broken Spire event. But aside from really particular restrictions, you're not really going to be using it, unfortunately. Even though it has my favorite design out of any dragon in the game. Honestly, almost of any troop just period in the entire game. There's honestly some pretty good ones. But it is really high up there. Like easily top 5, probably even top 3. Might even be top 1, it's hard to tell. It is so high up there. I really wish that was the final design, but still need the blue dragon of the flower. Oh, we got 120 gem drop again. Are we going to count that? I guess we are. I normally won't, but today we will. Just because I don't think we're getting anything else today. Well, we'll count 120 gem drops today. Normally I only do it if it's 300, but we're not getting lucky enough to be that picky. Oddly enough, 60 diamonds is actually worth as much as 120 gems. Because each diamond roughly is worth about 2 gems each. Give or take a little bit. The only problem is I have like infinite diamonds right now, so they're kind of useless to me. Unlike gems that are always useful. Hey, no problem, Ron. All good. But yeah, honestly, we'll probably be streaming tomorrow night regardless if we have a patch or not. But we should be getting the patch tomorrow. Like, it's like at least 95% chance, if not higher. Because it's very unlikely they would do it next week. They would want to do it at least a week in advance, which would be tomorrow. They also mentioned that they would post the final info around that time. And they just did that the other week, which is what this post is. They posted this like a week ago. So very likely. Because normally they post that like a week or so beforehand. Which is exactly so this time around. They either do it like the day before or the week before. And that would be the week before. Since obviously they didn't do it Tuesday last week. How many keys do we have left? We got 2 more to try to roll for something. And you know what? For once, we'll run 1 epic Vault Key too. I probably shouldn't run too many because, gosh, our luck is not particularly good tonight. Oh, another 120 gem. Oh yeah, we'll hand it out again. Our bar is very low today. But I guess go enjoy. Oh, I'm almost done with all the January codes. I have 1 more January code left. Alright, let's see if we can use up all of our luck on the epic Vault Key. Oh! We get 1 more Major Orbit Disappointment. Yeah, there we go. Green. Alright, let's do one last epic Volkey. We have 1,565 of these. I'm only going to run one for now. See if we get lucky. Come on, 900 gem drop. Come on, show us the mega gem. Come on. Alright, we got 3 orbs. Let's say maybe we'll open a couple of these. These are actually pretty fun. Come on, anything? Okay, we got a purple, 2 purples. That's not awful. Could have been better. Alright, we'll open 5 of these, so 4 more. Though with our current luck trajectory, it's probably a bad idea to be opening these right now. But, okay, another 3 orb. Once again, nothing too good here unless we get a pet orb. That's not awful, I guess. The pet orb would have been better. Oh, sorry, what was your question? When are these missing troops, Kulakin, Al-Qadin, going to be added to the drop table? Normally a couple months after the thing. Like, for example, Ala Aldin, he'll be in the event key drop table next Leonis Empire event. He's not currently in drop table right now, but he will be for next Leonis Empire. You gotta be kidding me. We just got Cedric. I only gave 1 as well. Did I not even give 3 copies? Alright, we got 2 left. And as Ron mentioned, definitely feel free to leave a like on the stream. Helps a lot and is greatly appreciated. If anyone still has any other questions, let me know if I missed any. After these 2 Vault Keys, we're probably calling it for now. No, we got Valhawk! Or Valraven, I mean. Okay, we're getting so bad tonight. We should stop while we're behind. This will be the final one. Come on, 900 gems or anything, like, not horrible. Come on, even just like a mid-range loot, I'd be happy with at this point. Let's see, what do we got? Come on. Anything that's not a card. No! What is our luck right now? We got Ace of Runes. Did they make the tarot cards more common? I feel like as there's more and more tarot cards, they keep taking up more and more of the Volkey drop table. Because I feel like every other drop is just a useless tarot card. Oh, wow. Look at this. This is worse than a Volkey. We got 2 diamonds, an Ace of Runes, so basically nothing. A event key and 25 KO shards. We would have gotten more loot from just opening a normal Volkey. That is so bad. Unfortunate. But anyways, guys, we're going to be wrapping it here for now. Hey, at least we got 80,000 gems now. Look at that. 80,005. Actually, I never even had 100,000 gems before in this game. Even when they had profit of like 20, 30,000 gems per week, we have never actually hit 100,000 gems before. This will actually be the first time once we finally hit it. But anyways, guys, we're calling it here for now. We will be back tomorrow night. Same time as per usual, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. About an hour and a half prior to now if you're watching right now. And yeah, we should be in version 8.0. Of course, we're in 8.3 right now, or 8.3 and whatever mess that is. But tomorrow should be the 8.4 patch that updates Guild War. Bring it in. We won't have Guild War until 2 weekends from now, but you know, all the infrastructure for it will be added tomorrow. The main thing that we'll be able to do tomorrow is open up all of the green dragon eggs, or the plant dragons. Basically all the flower dragons. We got the gem dragon eggs, the cosmic dragon eggs, and then we're going to be getting the flower dragon eggs, or whatever they're calling them. But yeah, we're going to be getting a new set. And yeah, see how they are. Go test them out. Go mess with them. See how strong the final one is. Because assumably we should be able to get it pretty easily. And yeah, we'll go from there. Beyond that, yeah, it's pretty much gameplay. So we'll go over that, the patch notes, and mess with the new dragons. And obviously all dailies and as we normally would. But anyways, guys, I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful week. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Goodbye, everyone. And thanks for watching.